Hello, my name is Tyler. Recently, I graduated with a bachelor's degree in mass communications. The only problem with that is that I've worked in information technology generously for about 4 years, and if we're only counting my full time experience, still close to about 2 years. And I really don't intend on giving that career up. In fact, I've fallen in love with it, which leaves me with a bit of a problem. What exactly do I do to justify 4 years of university experience learning the ins and outs of mass communication, which more or less encompasses the news, radio, television, and doing things like this, creating videos? So I said, well, I'll create videos. I've done this in the past. I've created a couple videos. If you look hard enough, you'll probably find random snippets of me trying to stay in practice with editing software. But I've never sat down and really thought about the kind of videos I wanted to make until now. And the kind of videos I want to make pretty much revolve around my life in technology. And the phrase my life in technology comes from, well, it's a phrase I use pretty recently and now very often at work, which is, I can't believe this is my life in technology. Generally, when I'm reading about something absurd, think along the lines of Elon Musk's neural implants and how this is my life in technology now, because technology isn't just about the things I do in my day job, it's about everything. It's about all the technology I will ever get a chance to work on or experience as a consumer. Technology is, to me, really cool. I like seeing it on the consumer side, I like seeing it on the enterprise side, and I figured that I would start pointing a camera at things and talking about my life in technology. I kind of want to do this in the style of videos done up by Jeff Geerling or LGR, or even really an inspiration for me and the kind of videos that I'd like to make someday would probably be Tom Scott, who, as of the recording of this video about a week ago, announced that he would be ending his long-running series, Things You Might Not Have Known, which that really is something that gets put in perspective for me, because that series started at about the time that I really started watching a lot of YouTube, and it's strange to think that it's ending. It's strange to think that I can sort of picture myself where I was at about the time that series began, and now here I am, perhaps uniquely equipped with the knowledge to begin making videos of my own. A bachelor's degree in mass communication sort of enables this, because these are things that were par for the course. My entire degree revolved around content creation, typically in the form of packages for, news broadcasts, and that's kind of what I'd like to keep doing. I like to joke with people and say that my degree more or less says that I'm classically trained in using Premiere Pro, which isn't entirely incorrect. I suppose as much as one can be classically trained in Premiere Pro. I certainly did receive actual instruction on it in a classroom format, which, looking back on it, I had always kind of written off my degree kind of as soon as I got my job in IT. And now I'm realizing I learned a lot. Even though I always had the goal of going into a job in IT full time, as soon as I got my student worker job and realized how much I really liked that job, I realized now that because I did continue to apply myself in my classes and try and make the best of my degree, even if I didn't plan on using it, I absorbed a lot of information, and I'd like to start putting that forward. And this is going to be how I do that. I want to start making videos that leverage the skills of my degree, but also talk about the things I like to talk about, which is my life in technology. Do I have a plan for these videos? No, not really. They could be 3 minutes long, they could be 30 minutes long if I really ramble that much. My main idea is that I want to point my camera at something and explain it as best as I can. I'm going to ramble a lot. I think that's just the way I am. When I was in high school as a junior, I took a physics class, and this was a physics class that was universally dreaded at my high school. Everybody hated taking it because there was only one teacher. And what I very quickly discovered was that me and that teacher, our brains were askew in exactly the same manner. So while everybody else was struggling in that class, I did very well because I happened to come at it from the perspective that my teacher was coming at it from, and it sort of clicked. That's one of my goals with these videos, is to provide a perspective that may not necessarily be the most conventional, may not necessarily be normal, but it's how I see these things, how I equate them in my brain, how I come to comprehend these things. And I suppose my goal, what I'd like to see happen, is for somebody to find these videos and for it to click for them. I will almost certainly be wrong a number of times. Because this series, if I'm able to continue making it through my career in information technology, I'm going to change as a person, as a technician, in the way I do things, in the way I handle things, in the way that I approach things and my opinions on, a couple of years ago, I was scared to touch networking, and now it's kind of my current fascination. So these videos, I think, will be a good chronologue, if nothing else, for myself, for how I change as a technician, as I continue with my career. And I have the hope that I'm going to be able to leave videos up, even if I'm wrong, even if my opinions change. That way people can kind of see where I'm at in my career and kind of get to understand where I was at a certain period, which I think would help people who might be coming along at the same time that I am, kind of look at where I was at a certain point in my life, in my career as a technician, and, kind of be able to say I'm in a similar place. I don't have much of a plan. I'm going to keep making videos until it's not possible. For any reason, for any number of reasons it could be, but we'll see. I think, though, that I'm going to get the chance to make a few really good videos. Talk about the things that I encounter in my life in technology, and push myself to find more things to make videos about. Talking about things like my experiences in information technology. Talking about things like my home consumer products. Talking about things like my own server rack that I run in my home lab. I know a lot of YouTube channels die from variety because they don't necessarily stick to one thing, and I don't know how to play the game. I might learn someday. I might regret being as weird and varied as I am now, but I don't know how to play the game. So I'm not going to play the game. I'm just going to start making videos. And we'll see what happens from there. If nobody watches these, so be it. But if somebody finds them and finds them interesting, then I think I will have been rewarded. This is long and rambly and unscripted because, my God, I did try to buy a teleprompter, but they were out of stock. So we'll just see how things go. And we'll figure it out from there. I'm sure I will regret not doing a script for this video or any of the videos. I don't really do scripted, but I think as a episode 0, as a starting point, as a if all else fails, this is where I started, and you can understand why this is as big of a mess as it is. I think this will serve well enough. And I think we'll just have to start seeing what I do from here. It's all very open-ended, and I hate pointing the camera at myself and trying to talk about this concept that I know nothing about, that I don't even know what's going to happen. I'm hoping that a video where I point the camera at something might turn out a little better, so we'll have to see. Until then, I think this is going to be my life in technology. I like that name if you can't tell, but we'll see. I guess this is the part where I say thank you for watching. What a strange feeling being on this side of the camera, finally. I was very scared to do it for many years, but thank you for watching. And I apologize for the future videos.